So we here finally, Cap1, Trupac. I didn't even know what to think about this because I was like, man, this nigga definitely shouldn't use the whole, Tupac mixing it with, you know, their label, the Real University. And so I didn't know what to think, but Cap1 can rap. Like, I think his flow that he uses is different than most artists, from Atlanta, even though he's from Chicago. So he just has a way with certain production to where when he get in his bag and get in his flow, it actually makes the record a little bit more tolerable. Um, so I didn't know what to expect. I mean, it wasn't really nothing bad. He can rap. Like, let's not get that fucked up. I've stated before, I think he raps way better than Two Chainz does, my personal opinion. And I mean, with this tape, you got a lot of things that obviously didn't really, I guess, emulate the Tupac, you know, chemistry or whatever, the vibe of him. But you had certain joints that was like, okay, I kind of understand it, but it's just taking something and making it your own, which he did instead of just biting. It opens up with the Breathe track featuring Two Chainz. I thought that was a good song. I definitely thought the production and the flow on it was on point. Two Chainz, you can hear him throughout the record. His little ad libs. It's forgettable because I'm like, yo, I don't remember Two Chainz actually on the record, and which I don't think he really was. I think he just had a couple ad libs, but that song was great. It goes into track 2, which is Murder, and track 3, which is Having It. I didn't like either one of those tracks, so moving on to track 4, entitled Tupac. I fuck with the joint. The beat and the hook to me was crazy. You know what I mean? I didn't know where he was going with the record, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not what I thought it was. It's something different. I could fuck with it. Then it goes into number 5, which is Numbers. I definitely feel like the hook was repetitive. The beat was on point. It's basically a song about money, you know what I mean? Doing what you gotta do to get money, making them numbers stuff. Basically about numbers and money, and who couldn't appreciate something like that, as far as a record. Now going into track 6, which is Stay Down, his flow pattern was crazy on that record. Like, I'm listening to it. It's like I said, when he get in his zone to where he like, it's crazy. It's not like no Migo Future shit. He has his own way of flowing. I thought that was dope. I definitely appreciate the lyrics. You know what I mean? The beat it wasn't bad at all. It helped. So I definitely fuck with that record. Moving on to Searching, number 7. Basically a record about wild bitches. You know what I mean? Searching for a bad bitch, and it's like niggas gotta learn it's a difference between bitches and women. You dig? And I wish a lot of these artists would kind of step away from that because it's just like, say I'm worth like I don't know, $30 million. Why do I need a bunch of bitches? I want a woman that knows how to handle business. Especially if you're out of your 20s, because I just feel like, mid-30s and you still fucking these thoughts and these fucking stripper bitches, that lifestyle, really leads nowhere. That's how you end up with baby mamas and kids you didn't really want. But Searching is a good record. I just feel like, I choose women over bitches any day. Going into track 8, which is Best Side, basically repping where you're from, South Side Chicago. I didn't really like it. I thought it could have been definitely different as far as the production. And yeah, moving on to track 9, which is Tonight, featuring Jeremiah, Two Chainz, Bert Simmons. It's a radio/club song, definitely for the ladies. It's not bad. It's actually good to see Jeremiah, back, doing what he do. But I was like, damn, you got Bert Simmons and Jeremiah on the record. Don't they both sing that R&B type shit? I didn't know what to think, so I was like, whatever. But it's still a good song. Baking Soda, you should already know what that's about. Drugs. He was bragging in his record. Beat was fucking crazy. Street content. His flow was on point. Definitely more of the songs like this I appreciate from him. Then it goes to track 11. Excuse me. Brenda, which is basically, Brenda Got a Baby. He used the same beat and like the little sample, and he reiterated his own story into the actual song. You know what I mean? Similar, but not really. So it has some real content. There's a lot of chicks out there that fits this description of who he's talking about, and I can appreciate that. That's probably the realest record on this motherfucker, so I have to give it 3 checks. Like, that's definitely a replay song. Going into track 12, Oh Everybody, I just couldn't get with it because I'm not the type of nigga to owe anybody shit, but I guess he had a different way of explaining, who he owed, but that's a skip. Going into Blessings featuring Big Crit, such a positive vibe and soulful song. You know, Big Crit definitely stood out on this. You know, I definitely felt like I'm listening to a Big Crit song featuring Cap1 because it's just like once Big Crit did the hook, got his verse, it's like, okay, this definitely, if Crit did give him this, you know, and produced this record, he should have kept it for himself. Definitely another song where it's like, okay, this is a favorite of mine off the record because it's so different. And if Cap1 would make songs like this, maybe people would take him more serious. It's just like, can we get one project where you have not, you know, I guess you would want to say introspective music, like Blessings, Brenda, songs like that. All the trap shit is cool, but it's like if he can give us one mixtape, you know, with content like that, I'm telling you, he'll see a different audience. But moving on to track 14, which is Keep It G, a very smooth track, you know, if you know what that is all about, keeping it G, you know, just keeping it 100, you know what I mean? Smooth track. Lyrics and the content was very official. It's nothing bad I could say about that. And going into the last song, which is Mercy featuring MJG, you know, definitely I was intrigued by this because I definitely enjoy MJG. I haven't heard him in a while, but he's definitely one of my, you know, favorite artists that I like. Him and 8 Ball definitely used to do their thing, but I definitely always gravitated more towards MJG. Just his aura is just something different. But the song was dope. You know, I definitely enjoyed that sample. Each of them brought something to the table with this song, and it had good content and a good flow overall. And this mixtape wasn't what I thought it was. You know, I definitely feel like he never disappoints, but it's just like you expect more from him. At least I do. You know, from the very first time I heard Cap1 rap, I was like, yo, he has skills. And then once I realized that he was rolling with 2 Chainz, I was kind of skeptical, like, oh, shit, you know, how this gonna go? But I definitely feel like if he learns to carve out some of the bullshit music and find a niche and a lane, he definitely can, you know, be. I'm not saying he's gonna be no fucking Nas or no Kendrick or no J. Cole, but I think he definitely can step away from 2 Chainz shadow and definitely have a you know, a lane of his own. I don't feel like of course he's known in Atlanta, Chicago, but it's, to me it's regional. He's not like, you know, worldwide, you know what I mean? I don't think he's as big as an artist as 2 Chainz is, but I feel if he stepped out and, you know, found his own little niche, he'd be good. But overall I get his 7 out of 10. 11 of these records out of 15 are playback, you know, replay value wise, and the production was on point. He never disappoints when it comes to the songs, the production, and the content. I just feel like it's something still missing from him as an artist, and if he can find out what that is and deliver it, you know, he'll be on point. But other than that, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I'll holler at y'all. One.